What up, everyone? This is Mr. Lord, Dr. Professor Dark Joker with this week's video. And this week, I'm going to explain how to fix the movie theater experience. Because, obviously, with a lot of recent releases, there's been discussions about, movie releases, how the experience is not what it used to be, whether it's due to, obviously, the quality of the movies in the theaters, whether it's issues with the trailers, secessions, like the price, like how it could cost, it could cost like triple digits for like a family to go, and I'm gonna go over that and what the problems are and how to fix it. N- Now I'm only gonna get into how studios and theaters can fix things. So obviously, yes, there's issue with the whole like theater etiquette stuff. That's on the customer to fix. I'm only gonna get into stuff that theaters and studios can fix. I'm not gonna get into stuff that customers have to fix. That's up to the customers because obviously a lot of that just comes to simple courtesy that doesn't require a video. With all that being said, on with the video. First off, I'm going to explain the problems that exist um, with the theater experience. So one of the big issues that gets brought up a lot is there are too many trailers. So a lot of times now you sit through like 30 minutes worth of trailers before the movie starts. And and basically studios pay theaters to show trailers. And how like it could depends on how the marketing strategy works and all that. But why there's been this increase probably due with like so you had in 2020, 2021, their theaters were not getting a lot of visits, you know, due to reasons. And like, so, they were losing money. So and also you had the strikes that there caused there to be not as many movies. So, yeah, so, theaters I think the increase of trailers is to try and make up for what they lost during those time periods. Another issue is secessions are too expensive. Like, I mean, it's one of the issues that many sports stadiums also have at movie theaters. Food and drink is not where it's way too expensive, and that's big reason why sometimes for a family it could cost like triple digits to go to a movie. Like if you just like if you just pay for just the movie ticket, you don't get popcorn, don't get food, don't get drink, whatever, no candy or anything. You can probably keep it maybe $50 at most. When you get to concessions, that's when the price really goes up. And of course, a lot of people you have the whole tradition we gotta have popcorn in the movie theater. That raises the price a lot. Like people want to have refreshments. Me, I don't because I don't want to have to take a piss during the movie. That's just me. I don't want to have to go to the bathroom during it. And of course, one of the biggest is that most Hollywood movies suck. Now that's on the studios. That's not on the theaters. That's on the studios. Is for there to be a bunch of bad movies. And some of the movies that do show in theaters, they don't get marketed enough, so they're not well known. So you have a lot of these smaller movies that people don't hear about, so they don't get a lot of showings. Like you have like a lot of these now foreign films. Obviously it can be hard for them to get some of the marketing in the US, so a little more excusable on their end. Now, I think it'd be better if theaters did. I think there's a way for theaters to do more with marketing, like maybe in the theater itself, like on the. Obviously, you have trailers in the movie, but like anyway, so there some films are just marketed enough, and a lot of that is on the studio, some of that's also on the theaters, and and a lot of foreign and independent movies they get limited showing, so and basically like you have all these big time Hollywood big budget movies getting all these major large amounts of showtimes, and things you have a lot of them flop, but then you have like these popular indie movies and foreign movies that don't get as much showtimes. Like it's freaking retarded. And then big issue that's come up, especially with Netflix trying to acquire Warner Brothers, is that streaming services have caused some films to not release in theaters despite the profit a lot of them would make. And then some of those movies end up going under the radar due to the fact that they're on streaming because you have the whole thing like, with some streaming service, especially your really big ones, there's a lot of shows and movies that people don't hear about because because they're not marketed or whatever, like on streams. Like that happens a lot. Like Netflix has so many. Like there's some stuff I would not hear about if I didn't accidentally see them. Like Nero the Assassin, The Great Flood, um, Murder in Monaco, like which like there's stuff is like, and the Thomas Jefferson documentary, the Top Gun Next Generation documentary. Like there's a lot, and the Montreal Expos. Like there's so many stuff like Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus. Like there's a lot of stuff that goes so under the radar, and that's on the studios, in my opinion. That's on the studios. That's not like the so that's a studio thing. That's not a theater issue. That's a studio thing. Like and that's just due to poor marketing or lack thereof. And their issue is that due to like how they're able to save film and stuff, basically they're they don't have as limited their resources aren't as limited as they used to be. It's a lot more common for films to be around 3 hours or more. So like obviously with Avatar, Fire and Ash being the most recent example of that. Of course, you have some like the Demon Slayer, Finding Castle, Return of Akaza, that was like 2.5 hours. Of course, Avatar: Way of Water was like 3 hours, whatever. Oppenheimer was like more than 3 hours. Killers of the Flower Moon. Like it's becoming more common for movies to be 3 hours or more because they don't have to limit the filmmakers don't have to limit themselves like they used to when it came to like the resources they had. That's why a lot of movies were a lot shorter back that years ago. It's because they were more limited with resources. Now I'm going to get into some solutions for how to fix these problems. So, number one, regards to trailers, only show 10 to 15 minutes worth of trailers before the movie starts. Like that, just go back to how it was. Make it 10 to 15 minutes. That's it. Now, another big thing, of course, is studios should make good films. That's on studios. Make better movies. Quit being a bunch of retards, Hollywood. Like, get good filmmakers. Like, and hopefully, like, with obviously, yes, some studios that are trying to like some smaller studios trying to come up, build up. If they can compete with Hollywood, Hollywood should be motivated to make good movies, and all these smaller competitors, do the competition, will be able to like motivate themselves to make better movies. And another thing I think will help is more variety trailers, promote more films. So that's the issue with like some movies going under the radar. More because there's sometimes feels like we get the same trailers a lot of times, and I mean that's a little more nitpicky, but I think having more variety could actually help with marketing, help get more butts and seats for smaller movies. I mean, because there's some movies I didn't hear about until I saw like the trailer in the theater, and like I'm like, what the heck is this? And some, if I see on the Wikipedia list, movies of 2025, I may see it randomly, but outside that, it's like what a movie theater shows me. But I say more. And another big thing is lower prices, success concessions. Like those should be lowered. Like just from like basically, if you lower, people will be more motivated to buy them. And another thing, this is for the basically the whole 3 hour thing that's become more common. I'd say have intermissions every hour. Like basically from when the movie starts to basically once to the beginning the credits. Like, basically so credits are not including this, so I say every hour you have an intermission. And no intermission during credits, that'd be dumb. So let's say a movie lasts, you know, with credits, 3 hours. Without, oh, well, let's say with, well, maybe not 3 hours. Let's say like 3 hours and 15 minutes with credits, but without credits, it's like 2 hours and 45. You just have two intermissions, one at the hour mark, one at the 2 hour mark. You don't have like one at the 3 hour mark because the 3 hour mark it's be during the credits. No. But like so, and I say during the intermissions, you show 10 to 15 minutes of trailers. Why that? So gives people plenty of time to go to the restroom so that they don't miss any part of the movie due to bathroom breaks. Because you have some people like some review like and reviewers talk about it's like okay we know which point of the movie nothing happens where okay it's a good time to go take a piss because nothing happens. And so if you have an intermission every hour, you can people don't have to they can go to the bathroom during the intermission and not miss anything. And also maybe some people they could maybe buy concessions and maybe like possibly with that you could have a whole refill policy maybe that people could do refills like with drinks and maybe with popcorn. I don't know, but yeah, just a simple way how intermissions can be handled. Like, because I feel like that would help a lot and make it a better experience for everyone. And and there, I think more screens need to be added for foreign movies and independent movies. Like with the success of like Godzilla minus one, Demon Slayer Mugen Train, Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, Return of Akaza, people should know how big foreign movies are, like how more successful they're getting, like especially out of Japan. Like, come on, just freaking that. Like, I think Chainsaw Man would like Reese would have made a lot more money if it got more showings. Now it made a lot of money, like it did pretty well, but I think it would make more if it had more showings. And another thing is streaming services should put more films in theaters. Like Netflix, definitely like here's the thing. You had like stuff like Frankenstein, Happy Gilmore 2, that both I think would have been very successful in the movie theater if they had full releases. So happy like now Frankenstein had a limited release. I think if they did a full release, it would have done very well. And Happy Gilmore, I mean Frankenstein, I thought it was mid. Happy Gilmore 2, I was not a fan of it. I didn't like it. I do think it would have done very well in the movie theater. K-pop Demon Hunters, haven't watched it, don't plan to watch it. I think it would have done very well in the movie theaters. Like, I mean, that's what I think. So, yeah, I mean, I think that doing all this would actually help theaters, and I think it also help studios. So yeah, back to the told trailers there and intermissions. That I think that actually is more trailers than what we currently get. Like you could potentially have like 45 minutes worth of trailers total, but 2/3 of it is during intermissions. Like I think that would actually help. Like so, I think people would not complain as much about that. I was like, oh, okay, we have trailers that are intermissions. That's fine. I mean, because that's a actually good use of intermissions. Like you just show it some trailers. Like that's more advertise, and that's more trailers for theaters to get paid for showing. Like I think it's smart. You know, there is good money there in doing that. And that's it. Did y'all like this video? Did you like this video? Do you agree with what I think the problems are? Do you disagree with what the problems are? Do you like my solutions? Do you disagree with my solutions? Do you have other recommendations for what needs to be fixed? That at least that studios and theaters can fix, and what potential fixes can be done to fix those things. Whatever page you have regarding all that, put all that in the comments. Because yeah, I think the theater experience is important to America. Like, it is important to all of us. Like obviously, some people they like just streaming from home, but I think theaters are a big deal. And it'd be nice if they don't die out. And yeah, so like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Look forward to the next video.